Hello, everyone. Welcome. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you sharing your lunchtime with us. We're so excited about today's forum, and we once again will engage our community today for the very first time. I want to start off by providing you with greetings. Greetings on behalf of our Dr. Rodney Ellis, and our Vice Chancellor for Student Affairs and Enrollment Management, Dr. Melba Williams. I am Dr. Tuesday Mahoney, the Assistant Vice Chancellor for College Access here at Southern University, Shreveport. And today we welcome you to our very first Pathways to College Access. Pathways to College Access. I am preparing to share our presentation today as we open up. We're very excited to have you. I hope everyone can see our presentation. So this series that College Access wanted to implement actually aims to engage our community and also connect our resources and our services that we offer throughout our entire College Access unit. We know that we have a lot of beneficial opportunities for the community, and we just want to spread the word. Forums like this will be held by our unit on a monthly basis, where we will spotlight our different program experts that provide students platforms for success on a daily basis. College Access is a unit of student affairs and enrollment management. We have 11 programs and projects that aim to prepare students for college opportunities, also assist individuals who are interested in building their skills to enter the workforce. And then today in particular, we will focus on those 16 to 24-year-olds, as well as those 25-year-old and beyond adults who did not get the opportunity to fulfill their high school credential, what we call now the high set opportunities. And so we're going to be joined by our panel in a second as they share with you some of the current trends and issues related to higher ed. So welcome once again. Welcome to College Access. Our topic today is captivating a culture of adult learning while adding success to your goals. So yes, we're going to talk about how success is developed through just the initiation of working on your goals as an adult learner who did not have a chance to complete their education. So our agenda will go as follows. We will introduce our panel, and each of them will share with you a little bit about their educational background, as well as why they felt the need to pursue that education in order to define their levels of success and their pathway towards success overall. And then we'll go into a Q&A where we'll talk about a couple of trends and issues related to adult education. We're going to talk to you about what success means and also how to set those goals from the classroom standpoint as an adult education student. And then of course we have a very special treat for you at the end where we will recognize our Jaguar Star, a young lady that has achieved amazing accomplishment through our programs. So once again, welcome, and all of our guests, if you can please remain muted throughout the session, we will open up a Q&A time. Let me introduce our expert panel today. We have Ms. Rita Stewart, who is the Director of Educational Opportunity Centers, which is a federal TRIO program. We also have Ms. Latoya Henfield, who is our coordinator for adult education in our Youth Network Initiative project. And along with those awesome experts, they are our leaders for the projects. We have Ms. Annie Morris, who is the educational specialist for EOC, Educational Opportunity Centers. We have Ms. Betsy Whitehurst, who is the support advocate, the educational support advocate for the EOC program, joining us today. We also have Dr. Cheryl Jackson. She is our employment coordinator and placement coordinator for the Youth Network Initiative program. And she actually is under the Division of Workforce and Community Development. And then we have Ms. Deborah Jocks, our head adult ed faculty member. She covers all of the literacy and adult education coursework towards the HiSET, and she is doing a phenomenal job. So we have her today. With that being said, I'm going to allow you to meet our panelists. Let me see if I can stop sharing. Okay. All right, you all ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, yes. Great. I'm just going to throw out a question here and there, and then ask you to just enlighten us on all the great opportunities that you know about, how you were able to navigate, and then all the resources that you know will benefit our community as a whole. And of course, we're talking about the Shreveport Bossier, the Northwest Louisiana region here. So we're going to start with Ms. Rita Stewart, and I will be highlighting each one of our expert panelists as we go along. Ms. Stewart, how are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm excellent. So I don't see your face. I hope that we can see you. If you want to, share your video, that would be great. There we go. Thank you. So Ms. Stewart, can you tell us a little bit about your educational background and why you felt the need to pursue education and how important that is to you?
I sure will. I actually came from a small town in Southwest Louisiana. That town is DeRidder. And many of you probably have heard of it. It's north of Lake Charles and south of Leesville. Mm-hmm. And so when I graduated from high school, we did not have a high school counselor. And so I did not know about financial aid. I did not know how to get in school. And I was just lost, but I knew that I wanted to have a college education. And so life happened. And after 3 kids and years of working at several jobs, I was able to obtain, I began my education right here at, it was SUSLA then, but I was able to obtain my bachelor's, my master's, and I also have plus 30, and I'm not through yet. And I did all this with the encouragement of my kids. I have to give them kudos for that.
Oh, excellent. So really a support system, right?
Yes, a very good support system.
Well, we're definitely going to talk about that later on in our discussion today. Thank you so much for sharing. Ms. Stewart, once again, is the director of the TRIO Educational Opportunity Centers right here at Southern University at Shreveport. And so we're going to move on to our coordinator of adult education, Ms. LaToya Henfield. Ms. Henfield, could you share with us a little bit about why you pursued the education that you did and how important you think that is?
Absolutely. Starting out, I actually was planning on and full intent of going a more business related route and had started out in that in advertising, but through some other twists and turns in life, I found myself in human resources. And from that, I really got a better understanding and connection of kind of the disproportionate understanding that a lot of young people specifically have in going out into the workforce. And that's where I really started to want to find an avenue, find a career that would best place me to share the experiences that I'd had, and then hopefully cultivate that and help other young people get, a good leg up into their education. So from there, that was my avenue into higher education, starting out in proprietary and now also having experiences in both private and public higher education underneath my belt now.
Okay, excellent. Thank you so much. I mean, we're talking about educational journeys with our expert panelists today here at Southern University Shreveport. And so we really just want to know what drives their success so that our community will take a hold of some of these awesome avenues that you all to get to where you are so that you can serve others. Thank you so much, Ms. Henfield. Once again, she is the coordinator for the Youth Network Initiative project here at Southern University Shreveport. That is a grant opportunity sponsored by the city of Shreveport. So we're highly appreciative of the city of Shreveport's projects for considering, once again, Southern University to host the program. All right, and so we're going to move right along to Dr. Cheryl Jackson. Dr. Jackson, please introduce yourself and your role, and of course, let us know a little bit more about your educational journey.
Well, first of all, I want to say good morning to you, Dr. Mahoney, the panel, and
Good morning.
our guests as well. Well, I started out, I'm from a little town in South Louisiana called Opelousas, Louisiana. And I come from a very big family in which education was very, very important to us. But somewhere along the line, I looked at life just a little bit more different. I decided to go to college. I went to Grambling State. And of course, there I learned a lot. And then from there, I moved on to law enforcement. That was my number one love. And while being in law enforcement, it was a lot of things that I saw that changed the rationale of my thinking by working with young people, working with adults. So from there, I was able to make another step into a milestone of my career by getting my master's. And what I looked at it was that I wanted to go into urban education. I just didn't want just one area of being centered around what I wanted to do. So I looked at urban education, and then from there, I was able to work with a lot of at-risk students. And with that, by obtaining that master's, it gave me an outlook for bigger and better things. And in able to lead our culture of learners today, I decided to go on to get my doctorate in education, leadership, and management. And that had a whole new opportunity of organizational learning and community learning within our public schools, and work with a lot of our at-risk students in a lot of our institutions. So with that, the success that came along with my life experience has given me an opportunity to be open and to be kind of in a way that it gives me an opportunity to work with the passion that I enjoy doing.
All right, Dr. Jackson, I definitely can hear your passion, and your background is very, very extensive in the area of working with young people. So we appreciate your service, and thank you for being a part of our project, the Youth Network Initiative now here today at Southern University Shreveport. Thank you so much. All right. Moving right along to what we deem drives success in finding out a little bit more about the backgrounds of our experts today. We're going to spotlight Miss Annie Morris. Miss Morris, hi, are you ready?
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about why you pursued the education that you pursued, and what type of impact did it have on your life's journey at this point?
Well, I grew up in Shreveport, Louisiana, and I grew up in a large family. My mom and dad had 7 children. And my father died at the age of 34. My mother was 32 and had 7 children. And we all were like stair steps, to one another. And education was very important, to my family. And I'm the first generation college student. And I was able to go to college. There was a great desire for me to go to college, because I wanted to be able to make life situation better for me and for my family, And I've always carried on a positive, role model for my family. And so, and then I got concerned about others, participants not having an education, and some of them were not aware of the procedures to be able to get into the system, to get an education. So I wanted to be able to reach out, and to help others, because my motto is, you can make it and you can succeed. Never give up, And that is one of the motivational skills that I have, with working with others, letting them know, to keep that motto and never give up, So that was, one of the reasons why I wanted to reach out into education, to be able to help others as well.
All right, Ms. Morris, thank you so much. I like that motto about never giving up. And that's exactly why we're here today. We want to encourage some young person or an adult that has given up. And we just want to let them know that you do not have to give up, that we do have resources out here for you. Thank you for sharing your background. And we look forward to you sharing a little bit more later on in the conversation about that first generation thing that you spoke of in just a second. We're going to move on to our next panel expert, Miss Betsy Whitehurst. Ms. Whitehurst, could you also share with us a little bit about your background and why education, the pursuit of it, was important to you?
Thank you, Dr. Mahoney. Good afternoon to the panel. I would like to say, as others, I grew up in a rural area, and education was important to my mom because she came from a family of 10, and only 3 of them out of the 10 was able to go to college. But she wanted a better life for her children that she had for herself. But I was one of the ones that didn't want to go to college. I just wanted to get out of high school and get a job and do my thing. So she allowed me to do that. But after a marriage and 2 kids, I went to a community college and I got a certificate. And after several jobs and things, I came to Southern, and I had a supervisor that challenged us. And he asked the question,
Yes.
what do you want for yourself? And he stated that you don't have a right to success, but you do have an opportunity to earn success.
Yeah.
And with him and one of my coworkers, they talked me into going back to school. And I was afraid at an age, because I went back to school in my 60s.
Wow.
And in 28, I enrolled in Ashby University. I got my associate degree, and neither one of them let up. They pushed me on, and it was an encouragement to get my bachelor's in 2012. I finished my bachelor's at the age of 66 years of age.
Oh,
Wow.
amazing, amazing.
So
Definitely never too late, right?
It was a challenge to me, and I was afraid, but I did it online with a lot of prayer and getting everybody to chip in to help me, because I got out of school at way back there. They wasn't teaching me the things that they're teaching now. So it was a big challenge, but I enjoyed it. And it also encouraged me that when you go to school, you have an opportunity to advance in your current position, or you can start a different position. And I was able to do that with EOC. I started out as administrative assistant, and because of my education, I have ended up as a support specialist.
All right, and we hope there's more great things to come, Ms. Whitehurst. That's powerful. Yes, so basically, you're basically defining the point that education will make a difference in your life, will make a difference in your career and what you deem as success. Thank you so much for sharing that. We have one more panelist that I want to spotlight today, and that is Miss Deborah Jocks. Miss Jocks, how are you?
I'm great. Good evening, afternoon, everyone. What I wanted to share with you about my background, I started out in marketing and was very successful in marketing. My twin brother went off to college. I did not. I moved to California, thought that was the thing to do. And I came full circle back to Shreveport and started working in alternative school settings. Schools where children were at risk. They were kind of like, they fell between the cracks. People just gave up on them, just housed them and things of that nature. And that broke my heart. Education has always been important to me, but I just took a different avenue to get where I am today. So after working in Caddo for 10 years and having that type of experience with those students, I wanted to further myself. So I took my marketing skills and went back to school and got a lot of educational classes and even an educational degree to help the students. So I took my marketing skills and I invented them and redesigned them to work into the educational system, to work on saving and reaching these at-risk students. And if I have to say so myself, Caddo was a little shocked at the skills and some of the approaches that I used. They were kind of like not happy, but before it was over with, they were knocking on my door, wanting to know what was I doing with the students.
Wow.
And I was telling them my marketing background to reach them, because each one was a different person. So you could not just class them all together. And that's what we do a lot of times. We miss out on a lot of students because we're trying to group them all, one size fit all. And one size does not fit all in our education, especially in our population that we serve. And also what I try to do, each one of us, as we learn, we share and we give back. Each one, reach one. And so I just make it a life mission to touch a heart and touch a mind and touch a soul. And not only giving them educational and intellectual information, I'm giving them life skills as well. And that's part of the success of a lot of the students, is that I've reached them in a different arena than a lot of people reach them. They see me as the teacher, the grandma, the auntie, and different things of that nature. And so it's always rewarding to be able to make a difference in someone's life.
Oh, well, thank you, Ms. Johnson. I know and recognize that you're an advocate for the students. You are the type of faculty member that reaches out and contacts parents and build those relationships with the family. So that is, of course, to be recognized and acknowledged. So thank you so much for sharing your background. We're going to transition into our discussion today. And as I mentioned before, our panelists, our expert panelists, will kind of cover some of the key topics. And then after we cover those areas, we'll open the floor for any additional comments from our guests that are here today. Thank you once again for joining the Adult Education Youth Network Initiative staff, as well as the Educational Opportunities Center's federal TRIO program that serves 19-year-olds and beyond with college entry or re-entry. We're excited to have them here today. So panelists, let's get into our Q&A segment. We're going to start with Ms. Stewart once again here. Ms. Stewart, before we kind of kick into our discussion, can you just give us a little information on what's happening today in adult education? What is happening statewide as far as the educational attainment and the things that affect our economy and maybe even our workforce?
Well, and Dr. Mahoney, in Congressional District 4, which encompasses from Beauregard Parish up to the Arkansas line, there is a population of 759,843 individuals. And the median income in this area is $39,000. This area encompasses Region 7, Shreveport, Bossier, Bienville, Claiborne, Sabine, DeSoto, Natchitoches, Red River parishes, and a few others. And the dropout rate in this area is 18%. The state dropout rate is 16.2%. And this is research that I found for the year 2019. For those, and that's for those over the ages of 25. Those without a high school diploma is 10%. Those with less than a ninth grade education is 4.1%. Some of those that have college, not a degree, is like at 19.5%, and the state is like 21.3%. So that shows you that there are a lot of students out there that we can reach in this area to help them attain a high school diploma or a college degree or some type of education that will boost their income level and also make them a better life. And so the poverty rate in this area is 22.6%. The unemployment rate, and this was in 2019 before COVID, was 7.4%. Okay, so you can see that our area is lacking and in need of educational resources. And there are resources available through the EOC program, through YNI, and through other programs here, grant programs here at SUSLA.
Right, Miss.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you so much for enlightening us on those statistics. It's very important that we know what's going on in our region, and that we know what our community and our families are faced with as they try to just simply survive. So those stats are really shocking to us, and we know when we compare those stats nationally, Louisiana, education-wise, is at the lowest of the totem pole. Unfortunately,
right.
Next to Mississippi, we just swap back and forth, being
Right.
last or next to last place. So that's very, very concerning. And so our purpose for being here today is to try to tackle some of those concerns and provide those resources that we need to overcome those stats that leave us falling behind. All right, well, Ms. Henfield is going to kind of transition us into what the current trends and issues are regarding adult education today. And then, she can place an emphasis on COVID-19 and that impact for students who are attempting to pursue their education and may have just given up because of the pandemic that we're currently in at this time. So Ms. Henfield, could you please share?
Absolutely. Really, the current trends that are going on right now, we're all living with them ourselves, and that's just interacting within a virtual environment. That's something that a lot of both students and those instructors, those teachers in various facets of education may not have had any previous experience with. So along with just trying to find an applicable format, you also have both the learners and the instructors trying to figure out how to best reconcile and both a learner style and an instructor style to fit in this new format that we're all having to work in together. So that's one of the biggest trends, as well as conversely an issue with you may have very seasoned instructors who within a face-to-face brick and mortar environment, they know how to pace themselves. So they also are trying to have to learn a new way to interact in a virtual environment, the same way with a student who's used to everything maybe being more tangible and now getting everything in a digital format. So you've got both of these contrasting things, while we're on some side, it's really good because everything is easily accessible, but you're also still having that little issue of maybe if that person or persons aren't completely technologically savvy, then you have to, find some other avenues and maybe do some additional training on top of that to assist both the instructor and the learner so that they are still getting the full breadth of the information that they need to receive in order to, get the knowledge that they're trying to both dispense and learn.
Ms. Henfield, based on the pandemic, you talked about a little bit about the instructor and the student being prepared technology-wise. We haven't had a chance for that.
No.
It hasn't been time. It just hit us. So what do you think, that impacted students' progress, or those who may be interested in pursuing their high SED or pursuing that education? How did you think that overall affected everything that they were trying to do?
I would think I would say in some ways, as I mentioned earlier, if you've got a student, if even a dedicated student, and I can speak for myself as well, coming from when I did my bachelor's degree, that was in a regular brick and mortar college environment. But then when I went back for my master's, I did that in an online environment. And if you're not used to that, and you may be a little apprehensive about that because, you're used to having a book, you're flipping a book and you're seeing a teacher, and just that's what comes with education. So just encouraging and calming any issues from that learner specifically, that we're going to get you the same level of instruction. You're going to have the same accessibility to anybody that you might regularly see in a face-to-face environment. We're still going to be accessible to you in this other format. Another thing that I will say personally, and I probably any of my faculty and staff could speak to that as well, is just now learning to encourage our learners specifically to utilize those other avenues of communication, such as email, that they may not be fully versed in, or really, knowing how to use that as a communication standard. But it has had, for our particular program, I will say, both, while we've had some cons, it's also been very beneficial. For initially, before the pandemic came into place, we were fully face to face, but that had its own issues as well. Sometimes, if say some of our students weren't or didn't have viable or accessible transportation, so that's the day that they're out of school but wanting to learn. So with us having to find another avenue and finding the right apparatus for us to dispense instruction, we're still now able to interact with our students in a virtual environment. So it's, in some ways, it's been beneficial to us to bring in this little morsel for instructional purposes.
Okay, great. I like how you, shared that twist on the whole pandemic situation, is that it's also challenged us to do some things better. And it's also allowed us to access, like we are today, many others who could take advantage of a virtual environment through adult education. So there are a lot of resources regarding the HiSET that allows you now to take advantage of everything virtually. So other than just not having the immediate access to technology, which we can support you with at Southern University Shreveport, all students now, even our adults, can take advantage of the many opportunities that we have. Let's talk a little bit about success and how to create that, or how to build that. A little bit about goal setting as well, and some of the tools that any that wants to return back to school to accomplish this goal, to know that they can do the following things or have the following tools to achieve their goals. So one of the most important aspects of starting a new journey or returning back to school is that support. So I'm going to ask Ms. Annie Morris to share with us a little bit about, she talked about her family dynamic and how education was important in that situation, basically growing up with a single parent. Could you tell us a little bit about that strategy for our students, the support system? Why is that important?
Okay, it's very important. Family is one of your support systems. And I make sure that my participants know that, because they're going to give you love, concern. They're going to give you that unconditional love, and they're going to share things with you. With family, you're able to share problems, or you're able to share happiness, or whatever you need. But just knowing that you have that family right there, by your side, that's support by itself. I've had 3 children, and I always wanted my kids to know the importance of education, all 3 of them. So that I was motivated to really go further. After I received my high school diploma and my college degree, I went on to pursue a master's, and I also went a little bit further, and PhD is pending now. But, my kids were proud of me for that. And I also, when they completed a certain level of education, I let them know that I was proud of them. That was great motivation for them. I told them, and I always tell my participants, that we live in a marketable world, and try to do and get all that you can, so that you can be able to keep up, and so that you can be able to get those things that you desire. Young people nowadays want to make big money, but I tell them, you have to go through channels of education, to be able to, entrepreneur and things like that, to be able to accomplish your goals, So they become, very motivated. Throughout the years of I worked here at Southern, I really have been proud of my participants, because some of them come into the office with tears in their eyes. And when I set them down, I help them to complete that application, to complete the FAFSA, the college admission. And I really counsel with them to let them know that you can do this, and it's going to be okay. And they wiped tears from their eyes. And when they left out the office, they were very happy. that I instilled that in them because they really felt that they could make it, you know. But I always try to give them that support to let them know that they have someone, you know, that's concerned about them. So family plays a great role within her family and within other families as well to be able to support them in every way. You
So
know,
Ms. Morris, you also talked about just having the student come in and you being that support, you being pretty much that mentor and that counselor. So for those students who do not have that family support or the outlet of a supportive family overall, other ways could they receive support to achieve a goal?
what ways there is also the mentor. Mentor are like your confidant or like your advisor that work with you. And a lot of times they serve the role of a teacher. You know, they have patience, they have great concern, and they lay out educational career plan for you, step by step. And you are able to complete one goal at a time, you know, with great accomplishment. So that's another source, you know, that I also encourage my participants, you know, to look forward to, because there's always help if you don't have your own immediate family.
Right.
And also, Dr. Mahoney, that's one of the services that we at EOC provide.
Yes.
We provide mentoring throughout your educational goals, because some of our participants, we serve adults and we serve those young students that are, and some older students that are going to adult education programs, and they provide nurturing in the adult education program. But once they want to continue their goals to the college setting, we provide that mentoring. And even when they're in classes, if they have questions, they can always come back and talk to us about it or receive encouragement. That's one of the things that we do. And we also provide a testimony because of who we are and the staff at EOC, we have that story. We did not start school. We did not go from high school to college, you know, the traditional trend. Things happen to us in life. And we also can provide them with our stories, our testimonies, and tell them that we achieved. We struggled, but we achieved. And that's encouragement to them also. And so I like to tell them when they actually get through with their FAFSA and, like Ms. Morris say, the admissions process, and they are elated that they have gotten that far. And so we tell them, Ms. Morris has her motto, I have my motto. It's never too late and you're never too old. So, and that's encouragement for anybody to hear that has long-term goals or think that they can achieve, okay?
Yeah, Ms. Stewart, really good stuff. So those are the resources, once again, that the Educational Opportunity Center offers. Also at Southern University Shreveport, we have academic coaches for those who complete their high school credential in high set and want to continue on. With you, that support will linger throughout your entire process or your journey here through Southern University at Shreveport. You did mention, Ms. Whitehurst, that one of your motto is it's never too late. So I want to roll back over to Ms. Whitehurst, who we know has done a phenomenal thing by accomplishing her educational goals at a much older time in her life, but then she is at the beginning of her success with many more to come. Ms. Whitehurst, could you continue to share with us once again and just make it clear to students who are individuals who are thinking about the fact that they don't know if they can achieve this or they can do this, or that how important, once again, is going back and finishing this educational goal?
I would say the first thing that if you an adult and you have children with you, even if you haven't completed, because I went to college with two of my grandkids and we had competition going on that if I made more A's than they did, they had to pay me $5. And I won the money because I was doing better in school than they were. But it's a challenge for any age to go to school because you have to discipline yourself. But it's very important to want to better your life, to get a better job. And the more education that you get, that will open doors for you and make you more accessible to different kinds of opportunities that may be out there for you. And what I can present to what was presented to me, what do you really want for yourself? It's easy to talk about what you want, but are you willing to try to do it? As Ms. Stewart stated, yes, going to school is a challenge. And I know at my age, it was a challenge for me because if you stay out of school too long, you forget some of the basic things that you learn. So it's very important that if we can get our younger generation to get in school, as soon as they get out of high school, they can retain some of the information that they've already learned. But for the parent, it's a way to tell your child, yes, I can do this, you can do this. Let's do this together as a team. And we can get more people that has not completed school to go along with their kids, take a night class, because they have online classes for adults like myself. And I was an encouragement to my two kids. My two kids went to school after I finished school.
Wow.
And they completed their education. And they told me that I was an encouragement to them because I had the desire and the determination to want to try. And I succeeded. So I would say that it's very important to set goals, but don't set something so high that you can't attain it. Set small goals that you can accomplish and go from there.
Great.
All right, Ms. Whitehurst. Thank you so much. That is so true. I know for me, growing up in an environment where the education really was not appropriately provided me due to racial barriers. Literacy became an issue for me. So even to this day, I still have to challenge myself to, work on my literacy levels, even with a doctorate degree, because of the foundation that I didn't have. So, everyone knows that I was told that I would never go to college. I wasn't college material. And so I had to prove to myself, and I really had to come up with a way to define what success was for me. And each day, just try to fight through the battles of those stereotypes and those boundaries that I had placed on me in order to achieve a goal. So I do totally agree that it is never too late to go back, and it's never too late to develop that level of success that you want. So speaking of success, as Ms. Whitehurst mentioned, Dr. Jackson, you have our next question. And so we want you to talk to maybe the 16 to 24-year-old groups that's just now getting out here, that really doesn't recognize how to implement a goal or how to, achieve a thing. Could you tell us about defining success? How can they define success, and how can they get focused on what they want for them and create that as a measure for success?
Okay, thank you, Dr. Mahoney. Well, first of all, as I like to piggyback on what you said a few minutes ago, that coming from a large family, and I did leave out the lady who really took a chance and listened to me, as what I'm trying to do now and give to a lot of our students, is that she was a primer, third grade, and she did instill education into me. And with that, it was important to me that success, I had to do it. I had to make it. That was very important in my life. And the way I look at success now, through each one of the steps and milestones that I have accomplished, is that the students that I've been able to work with were a lot of at-risk students where people didn't take time to understand them. They were just told they wouldn't be nothing. Like, for example, someone told me a long time ago that you're not gonna be nothing. You ain't going anywhere. You're gonna be right here with a house full of babies, right here with your mother. Well, guess what? I'm still looking for those kids, okay? But I thank God that somebody believed in me and I was able to succeed. With that,
Yes.
I was able to bring it along my lifeline into education and for law enforcement, all the support that I had to work with these type of students. I was blessed to be able to meet many students from across these United States. And with that, I was with many ages from 16 on up with the college students once I was on the college level. But to me, success is the opposite of failure. It's not always about having the material things as where you attain in wealth. It's the type of things that you have to work with today's students that we have in our culture, and everything starts in the home. We must be there for the type of students. We must implement the things to let the students know that we as educators, we are there for them. We will be with them always as long as they're willing to learn. Like I always tell my students, I will bend over backwards. I will be there for you. I will open the door, but it is your choice to go through that door. Then I ask them sometimes, define success. Students that I work with, the ones that I've worked with in the past, and as well as college students, define success. Tell me what it means. I'm trying to be a positive role model when I ask them kind of questions, because not only am I asking them the questions just to be asking them, but as an educator and as a person who has been in this type of dilemma, tell me something. I want feedback, because with success, you they have to learn how to be inspired. They must believe in themselves in order to get success, set goals, and make those goals very attainable. And while doing that, I always implement to the kids that whatever you do, make sure that with your success is measurable. It's just not nothing that you just take for granted. Make sure it's attainable. Be realistic. Because if you can come across to a student and just listen to them, encourage them, motivate them, let them know that someone is there for them, just listen to them, you'd be surprised at what can happen. So with success, when I ask the question to them, how do you define success in your life? I'm looking for an answer. I love answers. Talk back, communicate with me. The meaning of success, tell me about it, because I want to be an influence, not just a person there to collect a check. I want to be somebody there for the students. And with our students that we have now, we have to work just a little bit more hard, because we want our students to be accountable for what they do. And being accountable, that's the only way we'll be able to get through them, but someone has to be there for them.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Jackson. You actually teach our life skill classes and the YNI Adult Ed program. And, you know, we are specifically focused on this conversation for those students that stopped out of high school and that have been out for a while, whatever challenges they may have faced. And they could be adults at this point with families, but you want to come back. You want to achieve that goal. You should achieve that goal. And so we offer class opportunities for students to receive their HiSET, which is formerly known as the GED. And then from there, you know that Southern University just opens up a wealth of doors for workforce training. We offer certifications as well as 2-year associate level programs that lead right to successful careers. And so I wanted to just kind of close us out a little bit with Miss Deborah Jocks, who is the faculty member for adult education. So she's in that classroom every day trying to encourage and build students' skill set in the areas of passing the HiSET exam, which leads to the many opportunities that we're speaking of today that Southern University at Shreveport has to offer. So Ms. Jocks, could you tell us a little bit about, we talked about success, could you roll into what goal setting it really is all about and what difference goal setting will make for an individual to complete the HiSET exam, and tell us a little bit about that exam and that journey.
Okay. What I'd like to first do with the students when they first come in is to share with them about goal setting, writing, putting paper to pen. And a lot of them are a little bit apprehensive about writing things down. They're not just done that in their life before. So when I encourage them to write down some steps that you like to take when you first come in. If it's you want to complete the course, put a time frame on that. The investment that you want to make, you need to attend class every day. You need to come prepared for class. You need to study at home. So I line out all of the different things you need to be successful and to attain your goals. Sometimes they'll start writing and put down things that's unrealistic. They even laugh at themselves when I ask them to look at that again. Now, do you really think you can achieve that goal in so many months? And they laugh about it. It becomes a little game forward, back and forth, back and forth. And then once they set the goals down, then I have them to identify a time that they like to meet that goal. When they first come in, they do an assessment exam so we can measure where they are intellectually and academically. They can add that to that. You need more help in math, you need more help in this. So we'll identify the different resources that they can get to strengthen their math skills, to strengthen their grammar, or what have you. But what's really important, I want them to understand that this is not a joke, this is real. This is who you are, who you want to be. You're investing in yourself. You're committing to achieve on your own accord, not just with me, but your own accord. Also, to have it realistic, I have a sheet with a lot of the known people. There's Judge Brown, Judge Matthews, there's Cher, Bill Cosby. There's several celebrities that's on this list. And I also have them to review it, and their eyes just pop when they see the names on there, like, oh my God, I didn't know she got her GED. Oh my goodness. They could relate to those celebrities more than they could relate to somebody in their home, because they saw success in that person and they can align themselves with that. And we also attach that to their goal list. I have a student that put her goals in the front of her binder. I even put it in the plastic sleeve. That's how special it is. And you have a checklist. If you moved or you've achieved any, you could check that off. And when I see students in the classroom open that binder and look with their finger, measuring it to look to see, let me see, did I do this today? Did I do that? That makes me feel really good that they're invested in their lives. They're not counting themselves out. Society has already done that. So what we do, we try to re-empower them, give them those necessary tools to make them feel empowered. I even post grades on the board, on the wall, measurement. You made a C this, you made a 85 this time, now you made an 85. Or you made 85 and now you have 86. Oh, it wasn't that much, but it showed growth. It shows improvement. No matter how small it is, it's important to us and it's important to you. But I enjoy how they light up with seeing their goals in writing with their own handwriting. it really makes a difference. It becomes alive to them when they see that they have stopped and sat down and wrote something down that's attainable and realistic. And months and months and months may pass and they're still looking, measuring how far they've gotten, how much longer it's going to take. They'll even come to me and say, Ms. Jock, I'm right here, but what do I need to do to get a little further, or to get this or to get that? And I give them the map. And that's really what goal setting is. It's like a map. You set your destination and you map out how you want to get to that point. And once you get there, you're just shocked. I couldn't believe I did this. I give them my story. I give them my son's story. I make everything personal with them to a certain degree where they can relate. It's so funny how they always turn and look at me so like, are you serious? For real, Ms. Jock? And then they almost feel sorry because they put me at a status so high, same way they've done with other people in the world, that they feel like they could not reach them. And they don't know the travel is the same. The track that it took to get from point A to point B is the same. It's what you believe in that gets you there sooner, or gets you there with grace, or get you there with achievement. But it's the investment that you put in. And when I get them to buy into their own personal investment, it really makes a difference. And it really is rewarding to me to even see the students work with that. Having worked with alternative students, this format and platform is just ideal for my background, because these students are the ones that people have given up on. They tripped, but they got up.
Mhm.
But when they got up, did they get up with some assistance, or did they get up with, I knew you were going to fail, I knew you were going to fall. But when they write those goals down, that is one of the major points in the success in this program that I've seen with the students. The ones that lofty, they're not as inclined to succeed at the rate that a student that invests in the goals that they have set for themselves. But like I say, it's a step-by-step process. And once you get them to buy into the process, it's a hand-in-hand walk to success. It's a hand-in-hand cheer when they graduate and march across that stage. They'll come in and they see the pictures of the graduates. It's real. This is real. And then they maybe relate to somebody that has been in the program before. And they're shaking their heads, but before it's over, we're both shaking our heads in agreement that this can happen. And we want you to get to that point. But I also like to touch them and just motivate them to do things. I spend extra time. Some come into class hungry. I make sure you're fed, because I do believe that when you're hungry, you cannot concentrate and you cannot hear.
Mm-mm.
And so a lot of times their home life is a very bad distraction for what they're trying to do for themselves. So we need to find out what's going on in their home, and the trail that they leave from the house to us. We need to find out what motivates that. Grandma, mom, brother, sister, somebody. And if you find that connection, then you can go back and tap into that and build that support system, because they definitely do need the support system along with everything that we offer them.
All right, well, Ms. Jocks, thank you so much. I'm really appreciative of all of the things that are happening in the HiSET classroom. Once again, our program provides that for our students through Youth Network Initiative sponsored by the city of Shreveport. But for all the guests that are on the line, I'm just going to open the floor a little bit, because I want you to, if you want to, give a word of encouragement to a young person who may see this or may be with us today and who have failed and they're trying to get up right now. What words would you say to them? I know Ms. Jock spoke about this being a roadmap to success, and that we need to, of course, provide that helping hand to those students that want to actually come back and, achieve the goal. So the panel can share, but I really want our guests to chime in a little bit. What words of encouragement would you give a young person who has given up? And anybody can join in. Ms. Hope?
I'll speak, yeah. I really have words of encouragement for non-traditional, but for a
Go
young,
ahead. That's all of them. We're
yeah, but as a, I started off with Upper Bound, so, you know, I worked with the high school students. And you know, sometimes we can use the same words that we encourage the non-traditional in saying, you know, because I am a non-traditional graduate as well, from Southern, being with the Upper Bound and through EOC.
bro.
That's right, through EOC. So
tell us how that helped. EOC was that helping hand for you?
if it wasn't for EOC at the time, Mr. Brown was the yeah, and Rita and I worked together with Upper Bound. He didn't ask me if I wanted to go back to school. He told me I needed to go back to school, you know. And so it just became like everybody has been saying, once he did the admissions and, you know, you did the financial aid, it was like, okay, I'm in there, you know. But for us, still I was working with high school students and having kids of my own. And so you wanted to let them know it can be easier than the way that Ms. Holt is doing it. You know, you have the support right here. You have more directions than some of us had when we were coming up. There's so many resources, you know, and so we are their advocates. We are their support team away from home. So I would tell them, don't be the poster child of a non-traditional. That's what I used to always say. Don't be the poster child, you know, but to encourage them to keep going, and you have the information. It's so much easier, you know.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing that. Anyone else, any guests, you can unmute yourself and just give a word of encouragement to a young person today, or an adult.
I would like to say, yeah, I would like to say, Dr. Mahoney, to any other young people that hadn't or that's reaching back or trying to get it, that it is very much so capable. I'm at the Metro where a lot of these activities are going on, and I've actually seen Ms. Jocks in action. And just for any young person that needs to reach back and get it, it's amazing. It's truly amazing to see what they're doing in adult education, and it's possible. And I just encourage them to go back. It is attainable when they can reach back and get it, because in the world that we're living in today, with the way technology is going, if you don't have it, it's really the opportunity that you could have, you won't have because you don't have that education. So I would express to them that you have a support system there right here at Southern to help you get it.
Right, and why put off what you do tomorrow, what you can do today? So set your goal today, achieve it today, and you'll have it tomorrow. Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Flowers. Anyone else?
Dr. Mahoney, in the chat room,
that's a question.
Billy Flowers says, I would like to express to students that there's been other students who have taken the same steps that they are.
Yes.
And if they could do it, so can you.
Oh, I love that. Thank you so much, Mr. Billy Flowers. He'll be transitioning to student support services really soon from college success. So congratulations once again. And I like what you just said, that other students have done this. And so right now that just chimes right into our next segment of our presentation. We want to take a moment to acknowledge a wonderful student who has worked very hard, very diligently through COVID, through it all, never gave up to simply achieve this amazing goal of an education that we know will transform her life and her family's life. And so I don't know if she's on right now, but I think she okay. So yeah, so I just want to turn it over to Ms. Jocks to share a little bit and introduce this wonderful achievement that just recently occurred through one of our awesome students that we want to acknowledge today. Ms. Jocks, could you share just a little bit?
Okay. Another one of our YNI success stories, Gabrielle Nicole Latson, better known as Gabby. she stated that she had always been an ambitious person by nature, and she wanted to do something special with her life, achieve something meaningful, and be somebody special. As a young lady, Gabrielle aspired to one day become a licensed practical nurse and open up her own clothing boutique. The journey had many distractions. For example, during the 2017 academic year, while attending Huntington High School, she became pregnant. Due to complications and the responsibilities that come with becoming a single mom, she took a break from school. She stated that life has its way of throwing the curveballs at you. The other attractions of life seemed to have other ideas or dreams faded, and they began to fly by. However, Gabrielle always felt that getting education would stack the odds in her favor of realizing her dreams. She heard about a program, our YNI program, Youth Initiative, Network Initiative offered by Southern, where it helps people who have fallen out of the mainstream system acquire the necessary equivalency exam, the HISU, formerly known as the GED program. She enrolled into our program and she began to flourish. The director, Ms. Hemphill, and myself, we took her under our wings and began to give Gabrielle much needed support. But as she took flight, she ended up pregnant with her second daughter. Having children looked up to me to refuse to let challenges distract me, discourage me, or stop me, so I kept pushing. In spite of all of this, a toddler at home and a pregnancy, Gabrielle came to class every day, focused and wanting to improve herself.
Amazing.
It was amazing to us as well, and we rallied behind her in everything that was needed. She contacted us daily if things happened. If she had to take her daughter to the doctor, we knew about it. She asked for extra work all the time. She came prepared. That was one of the things that really impressed me, is that she came prepared every day, wanting to work. And her determination and support from us enabled her to pass all 5 HiSET tests and receive our HiSET diploma. She is now in the process of enrolling in the LPN program while managing her online clothing boutique. Even during our online sections with Gabrielle, she would contact me in advance to know if she could come on earlier, she could get some extra work. She was on top of the online situation, and that really impressed me to see that out of all of the things that happened, COVID did not keep her off track. She knew what she wanted. She said joining the program was a blessing. She needed to help her reach her goals, and now the sky is the limit. She says she encouraged anyone who wants an opportunity to get the training and personal attention they need to help get back on track, join the Southern University YNI program. It is the best kept secret in Shreveport. But what we try to do, we try to really get students like herself to be an advocate for our program. And it's a 24-hour flyer for me. I wear YNI on my head. It's a daily encouragement that I try to get people to know. But Gabrielle is online now, and
Yes,
I like to her as one of our Jaguar stars.
All right, so let's give Miss Gabrielle a big round of applause for actually achieving her HiSET,
Gabrielle,
graduating.
Thank you.
From the YNI program, and she will walk across our stage. Miss Gabrielle, could you share a little bit, as we say, congratulations to you. You are our JAG star today. What made you want to continue to fight so hard to pursue your education? And then what would you tell other individuals, young people or grown folks, what and why it's important for them to achieve that goal?
I would say what pushed me to continue is the fact that because mostly everyone that's in my family from my mom's side and dad's side never graduated. They never finished school. out of my mom's 5 girls, all of us ended up getting all of our diplomas, and all of the rest of the family were the ones that didn't achieve anything. And along with my 2 children, I wouldn't want them to, you know, go down the same path that I went down. I would want them to be better than me, do better than what I've done. So I wanted to lead an example and set up a good example for them to be able to keep pushing. If things did come, obstacles did come in their way, to keep on pushing, never to give up. And as far as to everyone else that may need to go and, you know, get their diplomas, I would say that, I mean, keep pushing, don't give up. At the end of the day, we all fall, we all come short at times, and things happen, it's life. But at the end of the day, as long as you have the faith and have the knowledge to keep pushing and to have it in the front of your mind to keep going, then you can achieve anything that you set your mind to.
All right, Miss Gabrielle.
And I also had a change in majors. I'm going to be doing EMT and paramedic instead of LPN right now.
Wonderful, and I hope that you're working with our EOC program, right? All of our YNI students have that opportunity to transition to the Educational Opportunity Centers in order to assist with their admissions and their financial aid to roll right into college, and hopefully we can get some scholarship dollars for you or that program limited to no cost to you, Miss Gabrielle Latson. Thank you so much, and congratulations again on behalf of Southern University at Shreveport, the city of Shreveport as well, very instrumental in that program being available to us. So thank you so much. Let's give Miss Gabrielle.
Thank you.
We're so proud of you. And what's the name of your boutique once again, so that we can all reach out and support you?
It's going to be Coco Bell's Boutique.
Okay, all right. Well, keep that posted for us. Thank you so much. And you have a beautiful family. We appreciate you once again, and continued success to you. We're going to wrap up our wonderful discussion today. I want to thank all of the expert panelists, but I would like for Miss Rita Stewart to tell us about EOC and how the community can reach that program. And also Ms. Hentfield will follow with information on the YNI program before we close. Ms. Stewart?
Okay, Dr. Mahoney, thank you again. EOC is a free educational outreach program through the U.S. Department of Education. And our main goal is to get you into college or into a high-set program. We're located at 610 Texas Street on the 6th floor, which is the trio floor. And our phone number is, I'm going to give you 1 or 2 670-9662, 318-670-9655, and 318-670-9656. And of course, you can always go through the SUSLA operator to get to our program. But we're here Monday through Thursday from 8 a.m. until 6 p.m. And on Fridays from 8 to 12. And we are very happy to help anyone that have issues, or whether you're in college or not, and want to get to achieve your goals. We are here to help. Thank you.
All right, and I was just about to ask you, your program was targeted for what group?
Our program is targeted for adults 19 and over, and also for high school seniors. But in our recruitment efforts, if we find a 16 or 17-year-old that does not have a high school diploma, is a dropout, then we will refer you to the YNI program if you live in Shreveport, and then there are other adult ed programs in the city. Is that good?
Yes, ma'am. And just know that Education Opportunity Center is better known as EOC
Right.
at our metro, and that they are working with students that want to attend any school or any program of their choice. So this is a community resource that serves the entire region.
Entire region 7.
Yeah, so anything that you want to do, you can achieve that through the EOC project. All right,
Okay.
excellent. Thank you so much, Ms. Rita Stewart, our director, and her team, Ms. Annie Morris, as well as Ms. Betsy Whitehurst for joining us today. And then Ms. LaToya Henfield, our coordinator, will tell us about YNI.
Yes, YNI, it stands for Youth Network Initiative. It's been mentioned a couple of times. We are actually a partnership with the city of Shreveport through their WIOA program. And our specific demographic that we work with are those between the ages of 16 and 24, specifically within the Shreveport area, not just Caddo Parish, but actual Shreveport residents. And anyone with meeting those minimal criteria can come in. What we usually do is we get them scheduled to come in and do assessments and our formal TABE assessment. Firstly, they can, we're located also as Miss Stewart at the Metro Center, which is at downtown at 610 Texas Street. And our office location is Suite 104. They can contact us via my direct phone line is area code 318-670-9688. Or they can also email me at lhempill, that's LHEMPHILL @susla.edu. And we'll just move forward with the process. We'll do some initial intake, get them scheduled to come in and do their assessment testing. We are still right now adhering to COVID-19 policies and procedures. So they will need to go through all of the things before they come into our actual center. But from there, we'll get them in, scheduled to test, and from there, get them through the process of going through an orientation and get scheduled for classes.
All right, excellent. And once again, that Youth Network Initiative is an adult education program that does assist you with achieving the HiSET, which is formerly known as the GED. Once again, sponsored through the city of Shreveport. So thank you so much, Ms. Hentfield. And I want to just thank the Ms. Hentfield, your staff, Ms. Dr. Cheryl Jackson, and also Ms. Deborah Jocks, our faculty member for HiSET. Thank you all to our expert panelists for being with us today. One of our chat members left a message that I'm going to close with for us today. And I'll read her message. Ms. Tracy Grayson actually stated in the chat, I would like to say to students to please ensure that they partner with someone who is trying to go in the same direction they are, who want the same things out of life as far as being better educated and moving on through past life adversities. Birds of a feather flock together. So if you want to do great things, hang with people that are doing great things. Let them be your mentor when you need that push, your counselor when you need advice, and your cheerleader when you have to reach your personal milestone. Stay encouraged throughout the process. There is an end goal that you should keep in mind. And congratulations to Ms. Gabrielle for your accomplishment. We'll see you at commencement this upcoming year. We're excited about that. Keep pushing, Ms. Grayson says. You'll never know who's looking at you for encouragement. Thank you so much, Ms. Grayson, for those wonderful words. Words for our closings. I appreciate you giving us that. And thank you to each and every one of our guests that took time to log in and join this virtual. We see you, and we appreciate all that you contribute to the adult ed community and to young people and adults who want to return back to school to achieve their HiSET and on over to our college level program. Thank you once again on behalf of Southern University at Shreveport's unit of College Access. We're under the Division of Student Affairs, and thank you to our Vice Chancellor, Dr. Melva Williams, for allowing us to have this forum today. With that being said, I once again am Dr. Tuesday Mahoney. You can find me also on the main campus of Southern University at Shreveport as the Assistant Vice Chancellor for College Access. So if you need any information or additional resources, please reach out to me and I'll get you connected with one of these amazing experts that we saw today. Thank you, everyone, and have a continuous blessed day as we go forth and impact our community. Thank you, adult education, and EOC.